So Kat is here. She is speaking on really being who you are and being unapologetic about it.
Yeah, so I'm Kat LaCohie, but my burlesque persona is Vixen DeVille. I'm a burlesque performer, and I've been performing since 2005, and I've been coaching and teaching since 2014. So a lot of people are kind of like, oh, what is burlesque? Oh my gosh, it's stripping, it's taboo, it's naughty, it's, oh, I don't want to touch that. No. Next speaker. But before we just shove this to the side, I'm going to let you know that my definition of burlesque, it is not about stripping. It is not about pleasing an audience. Am I sexy for you? Burlesque isn't a performance art, and I encourage you absolutely go and see a burlesque show. There's a bunch of virtual ones happening now. Even as an audience member, to witness these people in their height of glory, this confidence and empowerment, you soak it up as an audience member. My definition of burlesque is that a performer is presenting themselves, presenting this self-created, and that's super important, a self-created, self-contained 3 to 5 minute performance art piece, which, yes, may have an element of strip or reveal, but that strip or reveal can also be an emotional reveal, not just a physical reveal on stage. And it almost always includes a satirical comment on either pop culture or on current affairs. So not only are you demanding to be seen and going, hey, here I am, I'm presenting myself to you guys, I'm revealing myself emotionally, but you're also demanding to be heard, because as through your art piece, you can have these comments, whether it's comedy, whether it's serious, whether it's political, and you are fully presenting yourself to the stage. So to me, it's a lot less about your choreography. I don't take a group of people and go 5, 6, 7, 8, boom, here's the choreography that will make you look sexy. I'm pulling out from them what is living inside you that needs to be expressed. What character do you want to embody that you don't get to be in your everyday life? What has been quashed down you in your upbringing or in the people that you hang around with that you don't feel like you can voice in your everyday life? So it's very much a celebration of self, a celebration of the emotional self, the physical self. And my training is so much more about the solo performance of it, the engagement with your audience, the ability to stand up there with your magnetically charismatic and present yourself, as you said, confidently, authentically, unapologetically. And it's super important to be unapologetic. I would like to invite people to do 3 things today. If I have the time to go through my 3 things I want people to do today, because you don't have to be on the burlesque stage to present yourself confidently to the world, because all the world is a stage. You're walking out of your front door, you're being looked at. You walk into the grocery store, you walk into your first date, your first, your job interview, you're being looked at, you're being judged, you're being, stared at. So how can you walk into these places as a burlesque performer and be like, boom, here I am, and I don't care what you think. Accept me, and if you don't, I move on to someone else who is in my tribe, who is in my pod, who will support me. So first thing I want you to do is start pleasing yourself. Everything you're doing today, even just the next thing that you do today, are you doing this to please someone else because someone else required you to do it, because someone else wanted you to meet their standards? Or are you doing it because it pleases you? The clothing that you wear, are you trying to dress because someone else, you think your boss expects it from you, or your partner expects it from you, or because that's just how you grew up, that was how you were? What are you wearing? What are you eating? What are you doing? What books are you reading? What TV are you watching? Which Facebook groups are you scrolling on? Is it just because your friends are sort of doing the same thing, or because your parents expect it? Please yourself. If you're feeling stuck in your life, we want to be unstoppable. We want to get forth and doing the things we want to do. And if we're being pulled back by what people expect of us, then we're being shunted, we're being pushed down. We're going to start pleasing ourselves.
Can I ask a question about that?
Oh, for sure.
I always get in there.
Get in there. Bring on the questions.
Yeah, so the reason why I say that is because for some women it feels maybe selfish, or maybe that's a waste of time. Maybe I should be doing this instead of that. I pleasing myself might be the last thing on the list. What does it feel like not to be pleasing yourself? And then what does it feel like how can we start doing that? Taking that time. Yeah.
So if you're pleasing everybody else and it's not making you happy, I'm not saying that pleasing other people means you're not having joy. I just went into my boyfriend's, he's in his office right now, and he was in the middle of a call, and I was like, hey, do you need some coffee? I'll just make you some coffee real quick. Because it made me joy to see him super busy and stressed, and I'll make you some coffee. I'm not saying be selfish, I'm not making you coffee because I'm free and you're busy. It pleased me, but I didn't see him and go, oh my gosh, if I don't make him coffee, he's going to be super angry at me. He's going to be super, I have to, and I begrudgingly make the coffee. If you're living your life, doing things for the people, but begrudging it or feeling miserable about it, then you're going to be living this miserable life and not in those happy places. And if someone feels happy to do, like if I ask my friend to do a favor for me and they go, okay, then I don't want that person to do the favor for me because I want to be with people who are excited to do that thing with me. Like, hey, give me a ride to the airport. Yeah, fun, road trip. Not, oh, no, I owe you a favor. So if we all just started doing the things to please, it's not coming from a selfish point. It's doing things in your life that fire you up and then sharing that fired up, happy person with other people. Go and do the thing that fires you up, read the book, watch a TV show, but then share that with someone else. Go, hey, do you want to come watch this TV show with me? It's super exciting because, not, oh, I'll watch the football match because my boyfriend expects me to. And if you live like that, then you're not going to be around those people that expect you to do that. If I'm in a relationship where I'm like, oh, I'll watch the football because my boyfriend expects me to, I don't want to be in that relationship. If I'm like, I love watching football because my boyfriend loves it when I watch football and that brings me joy and I secretly check Facebook while I'm doing it. But make sure you're finding the joy in as you're serving other people. Otherwise, there's so much negativity that will pull you back and you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, and some people that's in their wheelhouse, you know what I mean? To please other people. And it's a positive thing.
And they love it.
They love it. And then but the sign that's not so good is when the anger comes up, right? You're like,
yeah, because if you quash it down, if I go, I have to make coffee for my boyfriend every day, one day I'm gonna be like, oh my God, get out of my face. I'm sick of making you coffee. Boom. Yeah. You don't want to explode 5 years later. You want to realize it now, know that you're unhappy and do something about it.
All right, number 2.
Number 2, exploration and excavation. So maybe you don't know what fires you up because you've been living in service for other people or in expectation of other people for so long. We've been given a bunch of labels since the moment you're born. You're the young, silly one. You're the older sister with lots of responsibility. However, whatever it is, you've been given labels since you're early on, and we start behaving according to those labels. Even now, if I go and see my brother, I will start being a bit like, oh no, I'm pathetic and I'm young, and because he's the older brother who would put me down. Mm-hmm. I'm in my mid-30s. I'm Vixen DeVille. Like I shouldn't be behaving like that. So we start reverting to these versions of, so find out what else is there. Start discovering. If you've always been like, oh no, I'm not a singer, but I kind of like singing, go join a choir. Like just go take that class. If you're like, oh no, I could never write it, just try it. Take that first class. If you're like, no, I'm scared of heights, just go and check, because maybe you were scared of heights when you were 7, or maybe your parents said, oh, no, she's scared of heights. And you went, oh, I guess I am. Like, you don't know. Go and double check. I forever said I hated 10-pin bowling. I guess you just call it bowling over here. But I went and checked because I was like, I've always hated it. Was that because I was a child? I don't know. I went and checked. I hate it. And now I say, if you ask me to go to a 10-pin bowling, I'm not going to go because I know I don't enjoy it. I already know. There's 3 things I won't do in my life. I will never watch Romeo and Juliet ever again. I hate that play so much. I will never, ever, ever eat blue cheese. And I will never go 10-pin bowling. Just don't ask me to do those things. I will be miserable all night. And I know that about myself because I checked.
Do you think that, because, I'm a teacher, dance teacher, and I teach on Zoom.
Yeah, lovely.
And then, do you think people are now taking more opportunities in life because they don't have to actually go to the place and be in the choir? They can actually do it on Zoom.
Yeah.
Or is there some kind of do you feel like this is has offered an opportunity for people to join something maybe they were scared of? Or what do you think?
I think that taking a risk or stepping out of your comfort zone is a difficult thing to do. And, it's like saying, if you don't put chocolate in your house, you're not going to eat it. But if it's there, you're going to eat it. Because now if I want chocolate, I have to get out of the house. I have to walk to 7-Eleven. I have to, it's an effort. So to get in your car and go somewhere and put on clothes and, it's an effort. But also there's an easy out. Like if I've driven an hour to go to a dance class and I'm now in this room with 7 other people who I don't know and I feel totally de-skilled and terrified. Oh my God, I'm stuck here. I can't just sort of leave. But if I'm on Zoom, it's like, you know what? This isn't doing it. Click, I'm done. Like you can easily just leave. And knowing when to leave, that's a really good thing. Like if you're not having fun in a session or a space or a first date or whatever it is, if it's not doing it for you, admit it and go, you know what, this is not, I've got better places to be. Like if you're leaving an event or a session, you're helping the people in the event and session, because they're going to get more done without you there than with you there griping and being miserable and wishing you were somewhere else.
Yeah, I think this age of technology has opened up the doors for many people.
Yeah.
I mean, just for me, when I teach dance, since I can't see them very well, they feel more free.
Yeah, right. It's like no one's staring at me and no one's looking at me, and you can see you. There's no, I remember going dance classes and there's someone in front of me and I can't really see the teacher, and it's like, well, what's going on? And everyone behind me is watching me doing it badly, and but you're just in your room doing it and checking the teacher, and it's fabulous.
Mm-hmm. So excavate and.
Oh, yeah. Oh, something I also want to say on that is that I've been teaching burlesque online now, and I've had students from all over different countries. And some people have come from countries where they're like, this just doesn't exist. Like my culture frowns down on this kind of thing. Like I can't go out my door and find a burlesque class, but I can shut my door and put my computer on and join a class online. And that has been such an eye opener. Yeah, beautiful. So number three is to shun and claim your labels. Shun and claim your labels. I was talking about how if you're giving all these labels, right? And we want to start not adhering to them, but shunning them, correcting people. I look at two ends of the spectrum of burlesque. So there's like the cutesy cheesecake, the femme fatale. They're not the only ones, but they're the most opposing characters. So so the femme fatale is powerful, in control, intentional. I do everything because I intended to do it. Even if I tripped over, I meant to do that. Cheesecake is everything's accidental. Things happen to me and I just flow through me. I have no responsibility, like whatever. Someone else will clear up after me. It's carefree and happy. So if someone's given you labels of one or the other, maybe they've said, you're ditzy, you're a failure, you're forgetful, cutesy cheesecake. Maybe you're, you're bitchy, you're anal about stuff. You're so arrogant about yourself, femme fatale character. We can, once we've excavated and know who we are, we can correct people and go, no, that is not who I am. Maybe someone says to me, oh my God, you're so forgetful, you forgot to do the dishes. No, I'm not ditzy and forgetful. I chose not to do them because I had another priority, and I'll do them later. I'll do them tonight. Or someone goes, oh, you just didn't do the washing up. No, it's just because I'm ditzy and silly and I just forgot. Like maybe you just should never ask me to do them because I'm just gonna forget. Like accepting who we are and saying it's not a big deal. But the shunning and saying that's not what I am is only half of it. Claiming a label is super difficult because people will call us labels and we instinctively want to say, no, that's not me. No, that's not me. And we try so hard to prove that's not me. And we become this inauthentic version of ourselves. Growing up, I didn't want to be sweet or cute because I thought it meant weakness. So I was like, no, must seem powerful. Must seem like I know what I'm doing, which made me really abrasive and no one would connect with me. And, so maybe we can try things on for size and stop thinking everything is so negative. So if someone says, oh my God, you're so ditzy and forgetful. Yeah, I am. I actually, you know what? That's so true. You got me. I'm really forgetful. So you might need to remind me a couple of times because that's just what I'm like. Or maybe if someone says, oh my God, you're so arrogant. Yeah, I am. I've actually achieved quite a lot. Let me tell you about what else I've achieved. And if you don't like my arrogance or think that those achievements are worth celebrating, but out of my life. So accepting that we are these labels rather than going, no, oh, don't say that about me, is just as powerful as shunning a label that you've been given as well.
So I used to have a friend who I've known since high school. He has since passed away, but he used to always be like, but you used to eat McDonald's. I was like, yeah, I was 18. I'm now 40.
Yeah.
Or you used to do this. Everyone's always trying to put you into who you used to be.
Totally.
And as you change and grow, I think women, when we start changing and growing, people want to always try to put us back somewhere that makes sense to them.
Because it helps them. It feeds their fears and their issues and it makes them feel comfortable. I went on a Zoom call, I think 2 weeks ago with people from my university, And they were like, oh my God, because I'm from England. They were like, oh my God, you're so LA, you're so American. I was drinking a smoothie. They're like, oh, look at you drinking your smoothie because you think you're so American. I'm like, no, I sound American because I've lived here for 8 years. If I'd gone to France, I'd be speaking French. Like, why is that such a problem? And I'm drinking a smoothie because I give a shit and I want to be healthy. And it's not because I'm so LA, it's because I authentically want to be drinking this. And it was such a shock because I promote this, being authentic, being confident. And I was like, and here I am, because I hadn't seen these people for like 12 years. And it was a real good exercise in standing up for myself and saying, yeah, I have a bit of an American accent because I live with an American. I've been here 8 years and I'm drinking my smoothie. What of it? Like, what of it?
Like people trying to keep you back in who you were.
Yeah. So like that, rewriting the story, like I'm saying, oh, you've got an American accent. You think you're trying to be something that you're not. It's like, no, that's who I am. I talk about bringing everything that you are to the stage, to your life, to the fruit salad that is life. Because everybody in this fruit salad is a different person. We're not in competition. We're supplementing the experience that is the fruit salad. But you need to bring everything that you are to fully be that fruit that you are. You can't just be like, well, I'm a red cherry, I bring my color, but I don't bring my taste or my texture because I don't like those about me. No, you have to bring everything because it's not you, and we want you in the fruit salad. So you can focus on the thing that you hate. There's a longer exercise that I do with my students, but to cut it down, focus on the thing you hate. When you realized you had this quality, physical, behavioral, or something you once did you feel guilty for, and who told you it was negative, and what was their agenda? What fears or issues did they have to make you think it was negative? And then you can start thinking, well, what do I think about it? What do I think about this thing? Maybe someone said my scars should be covered up. You can't really see them on this camera anyway. They should be covered up because they're ugly on stage. And I say, no, my scars are not ugly. They tell a story about how I'm a survivor and I'm a warrior. And let me tell you a fun story and let's connect. Or, my hair might be greasy today or whatever it is, but you know what? I've got such a busy, amazing life. I don't have time to wash my hair. Like, figure out why you think it's amazing, even if right now you don't believe it, but just try to shift your brain into why it could be. So you have your thing that is negative that you are going to start throwing in people's faces. My boobs are tiny, but I've got no back problems. Whatever it is you want to say to people, find something that is amazing about it. I tripped on a ladybug. It deserved to die. Whatever. So find the reason why you're negative is good from your point of view. And then the thing that you love about yourself, get used to bringing attention to it, because we're so told all the time, be modest. Don't be so arrogant. It's not all about you. Sit in the corner and hide. And I remember growing up and not sort of answering questions in class because I was quite intelligent at the time. And everyone went, oh, you think you're taking a geeky one. So I would just hide in the back and not say anything. But, you should want to shout out these things you love, because as we said right before, finding your tribe and finding your pod. If I shout out and go, I have an amazing stamp collection that all my friends have made me feel super guilty and bad about, then the people who love the stamp collection too will go, oh, me too. Hi, can we huddle together and love stamps together? So going into your first dates, going into your job interviews, loving the things you love about yourself. Don't hide the fact you have a kid because you think they won't hire you if you're a mother. Don't go into a job interview, first date, and pretend to be vegetarian if you eat meat. Don't pretend to be, because in being the amazing version of you, the things you love, you're weeding out the people who don't appreciate you, and you're going to find those people that love you. So the thing you love, the thing you hate, that is you. That's the unique combination that's you, that you want to share with the world.
Yeah, and I think I always say, know your audience.
Yeah.
Like when someone's putting a comment on me, like, who is it coming from?
Yeah.
Who are they, and what is it something I should really take in?
Yeah. Because have I asked your advice? There's people I would absolutely say, what do you think about this dress? What do you think about these jeans? And I'll take their advice on board. But also, are they trying to sell me the jeans? Do they want the jeans for themselves? Do they what is their agenda, and what's their fear? Like when I moved to America, my grandma was like, what about healthcare? What about this? What about that? And I'm like, I thought about it, but pros and cons, they outweigh each other. And it's not for everybody. My life is very full of risk, and I don't have a 9-to-5 job, and I don't have a regular income. But I love that, because if I wasn't in a 9-to-5 job, I'd be super bored. And maybe that lifestyle is great for other of my family members, but just as they terrify the sort of unstable life that I lead, I terrify the boredom of going into the same office every single day and sitting with the same people. Some people love that. I've got friends who just like, oh my God, I finally belong somewhere. And every day I go into work and I just see the same people and I love the people I work with. Great, you enjoy it, and good, you noticed it. But if you don't enjoy it, notice why and switch it up, change it so that you enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, so you and I don't know who else out there, but it's like we grew up going to classes. We grew up like just constantly either just participating in something. But some people struggle. Some people struggle with like really developing the courage. And I'm reading one of the audience's questions.
Yeah.
Which is, really how to develop the courage to be open and receptive to meeting new people. And I think that, we have like I just feel like I've been doing that my whole life. Like if I go to a different country, I'll jump into the dance class. Because I know, like, I don't feel, I think there's bits of advice and wisdom in what we do.
I grew up very, very shy. I would go to like the school dance and like hide in the corner. And I would really have to force myself to go out and do. I'm very introverted. I love being on stage because there's the boundaries of I'm on stage, I'm open, I'm full, I'm whatever. I come off stage, I can decide to go home and hide. Or I love having an in-depth conversation with one other person. But when there's like 12 people and it takes it out of me. I love it, but I love my own time and my own kind of insular time. So I would say start small. Like I wouldn't go into a massive networking event and just try to talk to everybody. I would go to that event wearing something you feel super comfortable in, not, oh, should I wear this? Should I not wear this? And talk to one or two people and find like, to ask, be interested in the details, not sort of what do you do, but like, oh, I love your necklace. Where did you get that from? Or, oh my God, your hair is beautiful. Like give someone a compliment and ask them about it. And get that real connection with just one or two people. So you're not trying to, oh my God, I need to connect with everybody. Just make those little connections with 2 or 3 people and start opening up. Because I know I went to an event, I started doing burlesque and I thought burlesque is going to be looked down on around these people. And I was in the bathroom and this woman went, oh, what did you do last night? And I was like, because I'd done a burlesque show and I was like, oh, do I lie? What do I do? What do I say? And I just went, I do this thing called burlesque. And she went, oh my God, I do burlesque too. You're amazing. Ah! And we like bonded. And if I'd shut down because I assumed it would be looked down on, then I would have missed out on that beautiful connection. So go meeting new people, be honest with them about who you are. Like, even if it's like a downplay, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm hungover from last night. Like, be honest about that. They were probably drinking too. Like, so I think being honest and being interested in the other person and their truth, getting their little truth out of them as well.
Mm-hmm. And there's that shift that I don't know about all of you, but I do believe that people are inherently good.
Yeah. And
they're just looking for the opportunity to show that, and they themselves are scared too, right? Yes. So if you understand that, I'm always the first one to say, hey, I'm always that first one, because I understand what I'm feeling as fear or being afraid. They feel it too.
And if I turn up and I'm honest about my, I was to say misgivings, that's not what I want, but my sort of supposed flaws, I'm showing them that it's okay to be you in front of me, and I'm okay being me in front of you, and we all kind of chill out. And there is that sort of notion of you can fall in love with anybody when you know their story. Mm-hmm. If you see someone sitting in the corner, or, angry face, you don't know if they're scared or if they just lost a partner. You don't know if they were in a car accident on the way. You have no idea about that person. So absolutely go ahead and go, hi, oh, are you good? If they're like, no, I'm get out. Good, okay, well, that's your issues, your stuff. It's nothing about me. I'll go and talk to the next person.
So tell me, so I want to get into the burlesque, because I think for my 40th birthday, I did a burlesque party.
Yes, love
I put
it.
up a sheet, and then I had a backlight, and I did a dance.
Oh, like a shadow silhouette thing?
Yeah, I did the shadow silhouette strip.
Love it.
For my 40th.
Oh my God.
And then I had, because my other friends are dancers, so we had a party, so everyone did their own routine. But because I used to go to the Derby in Los Feliz, where they had the burlesque shows. Sorry.
Yeah.
And just that. God, it's. I've never seen pole dance. Well, I've seen pole dancing on TV, but not live. But there is something very empowering in the burlesque. Mm-hmm. There's something like when the women come out, they're not perfect. They're not. You've got all different shapes, sizes, everything, different characters, all this. But it feels like it is like you said. It's a connection of who they are.
Yeah, because everybody is creating their own act. It's like everyone's painted a picture and going, here's what I painted. And it's not a paint by numbers. It's not like a coloring book where they've colored in someone else's drawing. They've come up with the whole thing from start to finish. They're picking their music that fires them up. They're picking the costume that fires them up. They're picking the concept. They're picking the opinion they want to have. And so it's not like an actor reading someone else's script. They are fully doing something that makes them so happy. So they're coming out on stage really comfortable in that, because they're not doing a dance move that maybe, feels awkward to them, or they're not wearing a costume that someone else has said, oh, you need to wear this. And it's like, oh, it's too revealing, or it's too tight, or, you don't have to reveal a certain amount of skin. You don't have to do a certain amount of dance. I've had people in wheelchairs. I've had people on crutches. I've had people as young as 20, as old as 65. And I wouldn't create the same acts with I don't ever create the same acts. They're all their own personal piece of art that they're doing. So they're working within the limitations of their physicality. Like, so pole dancing, sometimes can be limiting because you have to be able to get yourself on the pole, which is difficult. I've tried.
It's a lot of upper body strength.
And if you don't like your boobs, you don't show your boobs. And if you don't like your stomach, you wear a little corset and you show something else. I had an act when I first started. I would never go down to pasties. I never went down to a thong. I hated how I looked, and I removed like a glove or something. But the whole point of the act was about something else. Sometimes the final thing you reveal is you take a mask off your face, and your face is the punchline, so to speak. It's not about the audience expects me to show this much flesh and I should do it to please them. You're saying, this is the part of me I want to show the audience. Mm-hmm. And I want to share this with them. So you decide what that part of you is.
So what are some of the results your clients walk away with? I have here. What do they discover about themselves in that?
I guess the short answer is that they discover that they are valid. The person that they truly are is a valid person. And I encourage them in the playground, the training ground that is my burlesque class. I've encouraged you to do these things today, like go home and do this thing today. You might not feel comfortable doing that in your real life because of the consequences that ensue. So in this training ground, I'm allowing people to say something that they'll say and go, oh, sorry. I'm like, no, that's allowed. You can say that. That's fine. You can do that. That's not. Or they'll go, oh, I want to do this. It sounds really weird, but I want to. No, it doesn't sound weird. Doesn't sound weird. Come do it. I love it. I encourage people to really access these parts that they expect someone to say, no, that's weird. No, that's strange. And so they start just. I've had students who've left their job and started a whole new company. I've had students that's either left their partner or they've gone back to their ex-partner because now they're a more comfortable, confident person, and they can now operate with that partner with a different dynamic. I've had people who have had injuries, or I had a student who she had nodes on her throat and couldn't sing anymore, and she'd been told, you can't sing, that's it. So we did a whole act where she was Phantom of the Opera, and she ripped this mask off her face to rip the node, and it was all the whole act was connected.
Living it out. She was living it out.
Living out, embodying it. Yeah. And by the end of her doing the act, she had, the notes had gone and she could sing again, because she'd gone, nope, I am not having the label of failed singer. I do not have the label of I'm a victim. Do not have the, this is who I am. Boom, on stage. And they, like you say, live it out. There's a lot of mindset work you can do. And I write my things and I do my journaling and I say my mantras. But in burlesque, you're embodying it, like fully, physically, everything here on stage, living it.
Mm-hmm. So I know you have a free gift for our audience, and I'm going to put it in the chat box. You want to tell them what it is?
Yeah, so this is my 90-minute intro class. There's one happening in January and February, and then if you can't make those dates, you can sign up and just say, let me know when the next dates are. It's on Zoom, it's virtual. There's only 10 to 15 people in the class. If at any point during the class you want to turn your camera off, you are allowed to do so. You're allowed your little privacy. I take you through a bunch of the mindset we were talking about, the acknowledging the thing you love, the thing you hate. I invite you to ask people to look at you. Just how are you being comfortable? How comfortable are you being in front of people without choreography, costume, other things to worry about? Just me, here I am, all my flaws. Then we do some character exploration. Are you wanting to be more cheesy cutesy? Are you wanting to be more of a femme fatale? We walk around to the music and embody those characters. We find what physicality your femme fatale takes on, because everyone has a different femme fatale. And then we put that together with props and costume, and I play different vibes of music. And at the end of it, you've put together this like 20-second, 30-second routine that is not like anybody else's in the class. And it's fully for you to then present at the end and be like, this is me. I'm amazing.
That's awesome. I'm going to bring in one of the questions from the audience. And I think this is relevant because sometimes we think we should be the same in all areas of our life. So someone asked, why is self-confidence like so like changeable? Like they're finding they might be self-confident in one place but not another place, and like they're having something's going on with them with that. So they're wondering about self-confidence and why it's in flux.
I think it's because, so for me, I've had super levels of confidence in one area and no levels of confidence in other areas. And it started when I was at school. I was like the overweight, geeky one. I had a weird accent compared to everybody else. I was, we've talked about that, hiding in the corner. When I was like sort of 10 or 12, I was like, I kind of want to do acting, but my school didn't do it. So I went to like a, after school club and did it, where I had like a slate wiped clean type of thing. So I could then go in there. So I'm getting a bit of feedback and I'm hearing my voice again. I could go in. Thank you so much. I could go in there and be like, well, which version of myself do I want to be? Because I was the cat at school that everyone had these opinions about, and they'd written a story about me. But I went to this other place, and I could sort of start again. I didn't have to go in and be whatever labels I was. So I think there's certain places in your life, like you might move away and get a new job and be this really happy, fun-loving person at this new job, and then you go back to your hometown and around those friends or whatever. Or maybe, like for me, I went to this event that I felt like I'd almost kind of gay crashed, sort of thing. I'd got an invite sneakily, and I went going, oh, I'm scared to go in. I don't know what to do. And I was like, I had to stand behind the door and push my shoulders back and take a deep breath and be like, I'm Vixen frickin' DeVille. Like, I can walk in here like it's my event. Nobody knows. Nobody knows who I am. So let them wonder who I am. And I strode on in there with my little keyhole tight dress, just as if I owned the place, because what other choice do I have? So we have a comfort and a story we tell ourselves around certain people. If I'm teaching a class, I'm elevated to authority. So it's my space. I can say what I want. If I'm attending someone else's class, I don't want to take authority as much because it's not my space. But you kind of have to keep telling, if you can take elements from the places where you are confident, realize why you're confident in that place. Like I had a student who taught yoga, but in the burlesque class, she was terrified. I was like, you can stand up and do yoga in front of a bunch of people, but you're scared of standing in front of 4 other people and just be like, hi, look at my face. So why is it you're confident in your yoga class? Well, because I'm skilled. I've been given the role of authority figure. So if you can take that breath before you enter those rooms or enter those spaces, remind yourself in which situations you're amazing and why, because I have this opinion, I have this skill, I have this whatever it is. Like, I had to remind myself I'm Vixen DeVille before I walked into that room, because I was just, so you can write down, what areas am I confident in my life? And why am I confident? Is it because I've been put in a position of authority? Is it because I'm caring? Is it because I listen to people? Is it because I demonstrate intelligence? Is it because I help fix things manually? Whatever it is, and try to bring those skills into the places where you're not confident. Make them transfer. There you go.
Thank you for that. A different take also, like self-confidence. People want it, but it's almost like you have to build it. Like who I am today in front of you, I wasn't that way when I first started. Like I had to build that confidence. I had to build like this business. I had to learn.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to be said for being comfortable in discomfort. Like, yes, you may not be confident, but what you've both mentioned is the looking for help. Like therapy is absolutely fine, or, I need to seek help and advice in the space I am. So I think my biggest downfall has been when I felt unconfident is trying to deny it and hide it and walk into that room going, no, I'm super confident. I'm sure I'm confident. I think I am. Ooh. And when I moved to America, I had to just be like, you know what? I'm a 5-year-old. I didn't know what the coins meant. I didn't know how to put gas in my car. And having been like the 21-year-old who's like, I know everything. I don't need to learn anything because I got my shit together. I was like, you know what? I don't know anything. And I would walk into rooms and be like, oh my God, I am super nervous. Like I would admit it to people. And if you just breathe through that, if rather than going, I'm not nervous, I'm not stressed, I'm not calm, if you just breathe through it and go, oh, my fear is now excitement. I'm excited to learn more about me. You can go in and talk to the nearest person and go, wow, I'm really stressed today and I have no idea why. Like, do you know where the bathroom is? Do you know where am I supposed to sign in? What am I supposed to do? Like, just admit that you're not confident and admit you kind of need some help. Either that's guidance, that's teaching, that's someone holding your book, that's someone giving you therapy. But asking for help was something I had super problems with. Like growing up, denying I needed help and not asking for it and thinking I could just pull it all together myself. So yeah, admitting that you're not confident is probably the first step. There was something else I wanted to say really quickly about accepting and denying. And I feel like sometimes people find it difficult to accept things. So say if someone says, oh my gosh, what would someone say about me? Many, many million things. If someone says, like when I was 21, I was like, I hate being called sweet or cute. I might have someone say, well, you need to accept that you're sweet and cute and, stop denying it. But it's still difficult because it's a trigger word from whatever, like we were saying, from past experiences. So get yourself a thesaurus, grab it and find that word that's triggering you and find another word that you love. So if someone's calling you bitch and you go, I don't want to be a bitch. Maybe you want to be feisty. Maybe you want to be strong. Maybe you're competent. And so you can then re-educate. If someone's saying that word to you and you can't claim that word for yourself, claim something else, because maybe someone means it in that context. When people called me sweet and cute, I think what they meant was you're fun and upbeat and I love being around you. But I took it on as, how dare you call me weak and pathetic? So if you are having trouble, accepting words that people are labeling you or roles that people are putting you in, find another word for it and start using that word instead, because words are super important.
So quickly, I know, Kat, you have a private training program you also offer people. So you want to speak into that? I'm going to put that into the chat box if people want to go ahead and privately work with you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's designed as a 10-week course, but it's actually, you take your time doing it. So it's like buying a book and reading the chapters as and when. You can complete it in 10 weeks. If you want to let the work marinate through you, they can take 7 months, 3 years. However I'm alive, you can take that much time. It's not like valid until whenever. So it takes you through step-by-step creating your own burlesque act. If you think this is kind of the therapy and embodiment that you need to sort of like sink into that mindset. So it takes you through all the label work I've been talking about, the character exploration. Then we work on what really pleases you, what music you love, what characters you want, what expression you want to have. Do you want to release rage on stage and strip off into a werewolf? Do you want to be expensive because you've never had anything nice and pretty? Do you want to be a mermaid and suddenly get your legs and find your freedom? How do you want to express yourself on stage? We figure out your concept, and then there's MP3s and music videos. There's MP3s and informational videos. And at the end, we put you in a virtual show, whether that's you performing live. So you put a little curtain up and you perform live through your laptop, or you can pre-record like a music video style thing. So if you actually want to, say you were doing a mermaid act, you'd actually go to beach, film it on the beach, edit it together, be your own star in your own music video. So I take you through that whole process. It's all private training with me. It's usually $997, but with it's a 24-hour offer to have it at 40% off. So it's like, I think you save like $400 or something if you use the link that you've got there. And just, there's no code needed. You just sign up for it.
Oh, beautiful. Awesome. All right, ladies. So have a beautiful rest of your day and evening. And for everyone out there, thank you, Annie, for staying.
Thank you, Annie.
Woo, woo, woo. Telling you.
Awesome.
All right. Have a beautiful day, guys.
Goodbye, everyone. Okay. Bye.